One. Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies. We're Nerds the New Bully. I'm your host, Leroy, with my co-host.
This is Eli.
I had a nickname, forgot about it as soon as I recorded. Let's steamroll ahead, unless you got something.
No, I ain't got nothing.
Okay, we're going to go past it. All right, so yeah, this is a brand new episode, and like I said, this is a brand new month. This is the month of September we started out. And Eli, please tell me, what the hell is Labor Day?
I guess we're supposed to work.
I mean, are we not supposed to? Because I guess, I don't know. It's like the weirdest holiday that nobody knows what it's supposed to be about, but we just celebrate it anyway. Like, okay.
It's a day to the workers, the celebration of workers or something? The working
Okay,
class?
so we celebrate workers by working?
Or by not working?
By not working? I guess. Whatever.
They get a day off or whatever? I don't know.
I guess. Grill, cook, whatever. I get time and a half, so it's cool. I'm not going to complain. Yeah, so Eli, we did a little bit of Netflix watching this weekend. I mean, this week.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you?
Well, the whole world did. Well, the whole nation did. Apparently. So
yeah,
I took a
I
little
guess I
time.
did,
I
yeah.
took a little break from Kim's Convenience. Because I found out that Dave Chappelle had a new episode, stand-up material out. I was like, okay, it's Dave Chappelle. Why not watch that? And it wasn't as advertised as the other ones were. The other ones they were shoved down your throat. This one kind of just seemed like it just came out of nowhere.
Oh, this one was advertised then, all right.
Okay,
Once
maybe
everyone started bitching about it.
Yeah, I mean, afterwards people started bitching about it, but before then it was just it just came out of nowhere. The other ones, they were shoving it down your throat. Oh, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. This one Dave Chappelle I'm here. And so yeah, let's just talk about it because, like I said, he's had a bunch of stand-up specials, but this one has got a lot of people upset under the goats, ready to cancel Dave Chappelle. I was like, it's Dave Chappelle. You can't really cancel Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
But because he's pretty much talking about everybody you can think of on the show. He's talking about, the LGBT. He's talking about black people, talking about white people, talking about Jews, talking about women, talking about abortion, any suicide, any hot subject. He was addressing it, and it was, rubbing people the wrong way. Of course, you throw that many jokes out there, you're going to insult somebody.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. My whole thing is, but people out there, repeating his jokes and taking out of context and, trying to do shock value, don't do it. The reason you can't do it, because you're not Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
You can't deliver it the same way he delivered it. That's why he can say it, some really fucked up shit, and it's funny because of his delivery, because he's paid to do this shit. You, on the other hand, are just some asshole on the internet.
Yeah.
You can't pull it out the same way he can. So
Yeah, don't show up to work going, and then he said, gunny goo goo.
don't do it. Don't do it, because Dave Chappelle is not going to come to your job and be like, it's okay. He got it from me. Your boss is not going to know what you're talking about. And then you're going to be out on your ass. So, yeah, that's my whole thing. And my whole thing about this, Eli, is that, yeah, Dave Chappelle, what he's saying was shocking. But is it really any shocking to what he's ever done?
I mean, it's comedy.
Yeah.
It's jokes. I think this day and age, I think people have forgotten what that is and what jokes are. And there's a fine line. I guess we live in a day and age where we're supposed to examine, who we are and where as a culture. And some jokes may not fly in this modern time like they used to.
Right.
And I get the argument that sometimes joking about it basically makes it tolerable to joke about, the disenfranchised or marginalized people and make fun of, people that are different or racial jokes or whatever. I get that, but in the end, it's still just a joke. It's not to be taken seriously.
Right.
That's my thing. I mean, if you don't like that joke, don't listen to it.
And
Don't
he even says that on the episode, you clicked on his face.
Yeah.
Why are you getting offended for it?
And I'm not that big of a Dave Chappelle fan. I mean, sorry.
What?
I'm not.
Will Smith, not Dave Chappelle.
I'm not. No, I don't hate him. I don't hate Dave Chappelle at all. I watched his show. I've seen some of his stand-ups, but I haven't seen one of his stand-ups in a while.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I don't follow him like everybody else. And I wouldn't have watched this hadn't people not bitched about it. That's, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I was like, oh, it's pissing people off. Well, let me check this out. Just like, back in the day, oh, don't listen to that rock and roll music. It's for the devil. I'm like, well, let me check this shit out. When you're told something, you can't do something, you're going to do it.
Right. Especially you got all these articles, don't listen to this and don't even bother listening to that. So it's going to make you check it out, see what the big fuss is about.
Yeah, the church coming down on 2 Live Crew. No, I got to check that out. Every time they try to ban something, a record or a music artist, it's like, fuck it. Oh, a sticker the albums. Like, no,
and that's the funny thing about it. Because when they go out their way to try to ban something, if you try to shut something down, they make them more revenue, make them more money.
Yeah,
it happens all the time.
Yeah, don't give them you're basically giving them any press is good press, even bad things. And that's basically what it was. Oh, he's pushing all these buttons. Oh, well, now I'm curious, and you didn't want so them trying to cancel Dave Chappelle, it just backfired. It just made me curious and check it out.
And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people did the same thing. They were like, oh, if they're pissing people off, well, I gotta go see what what's the big fuss is about.
Yeah. So it was okay. I did laugh at some shit, and I probably laughed at some shit that might piss people off. But again, it's, we can do that. We can laugh at things, and we can also be woke at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But at the same time, I think the point of the whole special that he was trying to do is like, who can be made fun of, who can't be made fun of. I mean, understand, he's not allowed to make fun of the Disney franchise, but why not?
Yeah, nobody's above getting, being ragged on.
Right, and some people think they are,
Yeah, you're not supposed to say that. Why not? Oh, because they're always being made fun of. Well, make fun of them back. I've seen gay comedians, I've seen trans comedians, and they're funny as fuck. And I've watched it. You know what I mean? I can, and that's the thing. I can watch like Riverdale and Pose and all these other shows that are, with very diverse casts and stuff like that. Supergirl and the CW shows. They got it's very diverse with gender and sexual orientation. I can watch all those shows and enjoy them, and then I can also laugh at Shaft and and Dave Chappelle and go back and watch Rambo and all these 80s shit. Where that shit don't fly these days. I can enjoy all this stuff. It doesn't mean I'm a piece of shit because I laughed at a gay joke.
Right.
And that's what people are confusing. Is like it's it's a joke, and it's art, and comedy is an art form. If you don't like it, you don't have to watch it.
And another thing,
don't tell me I can't watch it either.
And you got a lot of people getting offended for other people. Like, oh, you can't see that because they would get offended. What do they think about it? What does a gay person think about the stuff that Dave Chappelle said? I bet you someone probably be laughing at it too.
Yeah.
So it's like we need to quit white knighting for everybody else. Like, step back and see what they have to say about it. If they're not offended, why should we be offended?
Yeah.
And so, and if they are, then hey, they have a.
And sometimes being offended, it builds character.
Yeah.
Because and I do that. I'll take a peek at Fox News. I'll listen to Sean Hannity just for a sec, just to reinforce my views.
Yeah, I mean, you can't live in a bubble. That's the main thing. You shouldn't live in a bubble.
Yeah, So, I thought it was all right, but I didn't think it was that big of a deal either. I'm not out to cancel anybody. I think cancel culture is bullshit too. Because it's selective outrage.
Right.
I mean, if you're going to cancel one motherfucker, you might as well cancel everybody. And they're not going to
canceling everybody.
Not everybody, There's some motherfuckers they won't cancel.
I'm gonna give you an example. One of my favorite movies I've been watching for the last 2 months now is Baby Driver. Okay, I'm gonna tell you the reason I love Baby Driver so much is action. Edgar Wright did the movie and all stuff like that. People said it should have been nominated for an Oscar, but you know why it wasn't nominated for an Oscar, Eli?
Yeah, because Kevin Spacey was.
Because Kevin Spacey was in it, so they pretty much said, "Fuck that whole movie, fuck Edgar Wright, fuck everybody else that was in the movie, just because of one person." I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and that's taking it too far. But they won't cancel Kevin Hart,
Right.
They won't cancel Marvel. I keep saying that. They will never cancel Marvel. Even though, everybody's done some shit that's cancel worthy, Right.
But Marvel, because they control so much of the media, they control what you think about these guys. So the bad stuff about these guys is not going to get out there like that.
Yeah. I mean, look at James Gunn.
Yep.
They tried and he got his job back. You know?
Right. And then they look good, like, oh, we fired James Gunn because we stick by moral values like that. When they realized that there was no outrage for it, they're like, oh, come on back. Or, you know what? They distanced themselves from James Gunn until the cancel shit blew over. Because we do forget shit. We do have a short memory. We forget who we canceled.
Yeah. You know. It's like, you know, I don't follow Kevin Hart. He said some shit that I didn't agree with. I'm like, okay, well, I'm done with him. Right. But I ain't going around raving about it and telling everybody they can't.
Right. Writing articles and don't bother with Kevin Hart.
Yeah. It's so cringeworthy. Oh, I was so triggered and outraged and all this shit. Like, no, fuck him. I'm done with him.
I know you don't give a shit about him, but prayers going out to Kevin Hart because I heard he was in a car accident, back injury, no telling what the fuck going on. So we'll inform more about that when we go later on. Can we move on past this?
Sure.
Let's move on past it. Okay, let's get to the actual meat of the podcast where we talk about the box office numbers. Weird transition, but fuck it, that's how we do it. Okay, so Eli, give it to me. What is the number one movie of the week? I'm gonna give you a hint for the second time in a row.
Is it the something fallen?
Yeah, fallen angels, peeping willows. Yeah, all the shit. Yeah. So the Leonidas movie is number one again. What the fuck, man? That's how weak the box office is. You know what? I'm starting to realize now. It's now September, but I realized like the August, like middle September month, that's the dumping ground for movies now. It used to be January, February. That's no longer the case now because those movies are doing like billions of dollars now.
Yeah.
So now this is the dumping ground because it's not quite Oscar season and it's not quite summer season. So it's just like whatever.
Yeah.
And plus, summer season doesn't even exist anymore. What do we have? Men in Black with Thor and Valkyrie? Nobody saw that shit. That's what the big thing came out.
Because Liam Neeson was it, and everyone's trying to cut his dick off.
That's right. We did cancel him. I forgot about him too. Yeah. I need a notepad or something to keep track of this shit. Number 2, we got The Good Boys. We got number 3, The Lion King, which I'm thinking domestically might be the. Let me see. Somebody said it might be the highest grossing movie of this year, domestically.
And nobody likes it.
Nobody likes it. I mean, like over Endgame. No, hell no. 500. Oh no, somebody lied. That's definitely the case. I'm looking at that shit. I don't even have to know. Okay, it's the second highest grossing and animated movie of all time.
Animated?
Mm-hmm. Animated. Not all time, but yeah. Incredibles 2 is number 1, which I thought was at that.
I didn't watch it.
It was on Netflix.
Yeah, I haven't gotten around to it yet.
Okay, it was cool. I watched that because it was the same thing. It was making billions and billions and billions of dollars, and everybody was like, "Oh, you got to go see it. And it's gonna win all these awards, stuff like that." But at the same time, that's when Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse came out. I was just like, okay, I watched Spider-Verse. I was like, if Incredibles gonna be better than this movie, it better come with it. I mean, they telling me this supposed to be the greatest movie of all time, and I just saw Spider-Verse, and that was an awesome ass cartoon. Incredibles better beat that. That's like, it was a remake of the last movie.
Yeah.
This would switch roles, except okay, now he stays at home and she goes out and what the fuck ever. Number 4, Fast and the Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw.
Ooh.
Still hanging in there. I think they're at $600 million now. Like I said, we had to wait for China to hit. What else we got? Number 5, Overcomer. I don't know what the fuck that is. Okay. Number 6, Ready or Not. Isn't that a movie where people hunt each other?
Or it's like a bride, yes.
Yeah.
Like
is that Margot Robbie or is that somebody else?
I don't think it's Margot Robbie. No.
Well, Margot Robbie look alike. She looks just like Margot Robbie, whoever it is. Number 7, your movie, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Say that 5 times 5.
Oh, I forgot about that movie.
Oh, well, not your movie then, I guess. Number 8, Dora and the Lost City of Gold. Number 9, we have Spider-Man Far From Home. That's right, because they had that extended release.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And then we got Angry Birds 2.
Damn.
Yeah, still hanging in there. So people love Angry Birds. So yeah, so that's the box office. Is pretty much dead in the water for right now. So I guess September. I don't think anything in September is coming out worth noting.
Well, I'm excited for it.
I've never seen anything about it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I know you're excited about a clown movie. Everybody else is excited about another clown movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that one we have no choice but to listen. It's almost like in our job description we have to get excited for this movie.
I suppose.
Yeah. So we can talk about it now because they just released the final trailer of the Joker. Is it Joker or just Joker? I don't know. One of them. Doesn't matter. The new movie coming out, going to be released in October. I think the first week of October. The review embargo was already up, Eli. So critics have already seen this movie.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, and they're saying it's the greatest movie ever made.
That's what I hear.
Yep. Everybody's giving it 11.5 out of 10s, 12.9 out of 10. They said they gave it a 8-minute standing ovation at Cannes Film Festival or some film festival. I can't remember what it was, but they said an 8-minute standing ovation, which I think they said the same thing about Batman v Superman. So take that with a grain of salt.
Really?
So who knows? I'm kind of interested in seeing what the general public thinks about this movie because, like I said, the critics are just goo and gaga on all this movie, saying it's this interesting character study and this introspective character piece. The general public don't care about shit like that. I think because we've been watching these Marvel movies and Disney movies, we've been programmed to watch a certain type of movie, and if it's not the type of movie, we reject it. For instance, I think like The Dark Knight, I think if it came out now, 10 years later, I don't think it'd be a big hit as it was back then.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Just because, not because that's a bad movie, not because it's an overhyped movie. I love the movie, just because we've been conditioned to watch a certain type of movie. I mean, Marvel has spoiled us. No, when a credit it rolls, nobody gets out of their seats anymore. Doesn't matter the movie. It could be a romantic comedy. You're not gonna get out of your seat.
Oh yeah.
And so, people might not like the Joker movie because it doesn't have enough fight scenes in it. Some stupid shit.
Yeah.
And so, trailer, pretty much where I was before on this, Eli. I almost feel like this is genius, not because of the trailer, what they're doing, just because of the marketing they're doing. Because what they've done, and this is what I feel like, I haven't seen the movie yet. If I'm wrong, I will completely eat crow or cheeseburger or whatever the fuck at the end. But I feel like what they're doing, they decided to make their own movie, make a Martin Scorsese homage, King of Comedy, Taxi Driver. I'm hearing a lot of connections to Mean Streets. All those movies right there. So they're making a Martin Scorsese homage, but since they know nobody's just gonna see a Martin Scorsese homage movie, you gotta slap some superhero shit on it.
Yeah,
you gotta tie to a comic book thing some kind of way, because if you don't do that, nobody's gonna see the movie. If they made a remake of King of Comedy, nobody would see that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like watching the trailer, like if this wasn't called the Joker,
right?
If this wasn't connected to Batman in any way, would anybody give a shit?
And the thing is, it's not connected to Batman in any way. I mean, it is.
But that's the selling point.
Yeah.
That's the selling point. They're turning the Joker into, Taxi Driver. That's what it looks like.
And you can say that, okay, because I had a conversation with somebody about this other day. Okay, The Killing Joke, and they said The Killing Joke had a lot of similarities to King of Comedy, and of course, Killing Joke came after King of Comedy. So did Alan Moore take inspiration from King of Comedy? Maybe. People don't like to admit that, these fanboys, that you hate to hear this, but there are a lot of comic book stories that are ripoff of movies.
Yeah.
Especially back in the 80s and the 90s, stuff like that. And they would just straight up say it. Yeah, I saw this movie. I made a movie about it, didn't care. I made a comic book about it, didn't care. Now it's the exact opposite of what it is. Movies take inspiration from comics, but back then they saw a movie, they make a comic book about it. So now you're making a movie that's a comic that's rip off a movie that's rip off the comic that's rip off the movie. It's all the circle of life. So, for instance, I'll give you an example. I just gave an example. I'll give you another example. Logan.
Yeah.
Okay, so Old Man Logan took inspiration from Unforgiven. Mark Millar straight up said that he took Unforgiven. So when they made the Logan movie, they didn't take inspiration from Old Man Logan. That's why there were no Hulk babies and, stupid shit like that. They took inspiration directly from Unforgiven. They just turned Wolverine into an Unforgiven movie.
Yeah. Or what was that movie? Shane, they were the movie he was watching in that movie?
Right, that movie or whatever it was. But they take inspirations from that. So they're skipping the comic. They're going right to the source where the comic got their source from also. So fanboys getting mad about that because they don't have a lot of comic book, exploits in it. But why should it? If it's take inspiration from the movie, do the same thing. Now, the Joker, whatever you want to call it, I'm not even mad at what they're doing. because Suicide Squad made all this shit money just because they had a Joker in it. You know, that's the
Yeah.
And the funny thing about it that, like, regardless of what you think about that movie, if you take all of the Joker scenes out of it, if you remove the Joker from the movie, it changes nothing. The movie will play out the exact same way if the Joker was not in it, regardless. But you have to sell the movie and put butts in the seats, so you have to cast the Joker. Even though it was you can say what you want to about the performance of it, but just the fact that he was in it put butts in the seats, you know. So they realize, and plus, hey, isn't it like a Warner Brothers property also?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they probably like, hey, clowns are hot. Give me the clown movie. What else we got? You know, because they did say they fast tracked this movie. I mean, think about it. The director of this movie is the director of Hangover.
Yeah.
So you really want me to believe that it's an Oscar-worthy winning movie? Maybe it is. I'm just saying.
Yeah, they're saying that it's Oscar worthy and Joaquin Phoenix should get Best Actor and all that shit. And it just I'm really not interested. I mean, I don't know.
They're saying it's a movie we're supposed to be interested in. That's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I really give a shit. I mean, I can see the similarities with Martin Scorsese and all that, and the Taxi Driver movie, but I'd just rather watch those.
Right.
You know?
I mean, they're
like,
not pretending like they're not taking from those movies. They're straight up doing that. You know, and they're not taking. They didn't read a comic book. It's not based on a comic book. I see a lot of people, a lot of fanboys are pissed because this doesn't look anything like my Joker. It's not supposed to. They're not even trying to. They don't even care to try to make it look like your Joker.
Yeah, and I'm like, that doesn't really interest me. You know, I don't feel like it just seems like going to be a bummer to watch. You know, to watch some poor schlub get treated like shit, you know, and then turn into an asshole at the end. I mean, I don't.
and you know what they're saying, Eli. You know what they're saying. They're saying this is pretty much the origin of a school shooter.
Yeah.
I've already seen that. You know.
Yes, I've seen that narrative being spun, especially in the light of all these, you know, acts of violence that's been plaguing us lately. That,
I didn't want to say it, but hell, we had a shooting yesterday.
Yeah.
In Texas.
Yeah, and so there's that kind of narrative being spun around. You know, they're trying to blame movies to a certain extent. You know, or implying that movies like this might give inspiration. You know.
Can I be devil's advocate?
Go ahead.
I agree with you, but I got to play devil's advocate. Okay, so let's say, for instance, that this is taking from the comics. For instance, let's say just 1% of this movie is taking inspiration from comics. So remember when Robert De Niro calls him out to the crowd, and he comes behind the stage, stuff like that. He's on a Nate Light TV show. Now that happened in a comic. That happened in The Dark Knight Returns. You remember the Joker was on, in the comics, he was on David Letterman, but since nobody reads comics, they just saw the cartoon he was on Conan O'Brien. Whatever, same thing. The point was, he killed everybody in the crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, are they going to take it that far in this movie? Because we know for a fact, back when The Dark Knight Rises came out, a movie theater got shot up with a guy wearing Joker cosplay.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, how far are they going to take this? How far are they going to make these parallel connections? You know, are we supposed to sympathize with the Joker, who is a serial killer?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. That's why I'm kind of serious. I'm not even really worried about the movie itself. I'm really worried about how is the general public going to take it. Because fuck the critics.
And Taxi Driver, what's that asshole guy who shot Reagan? And Brady.
Because he said he was in love with
Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster,
inspired by Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
Which, anybody who's seen Taxi Driver, it's basically, a guy going insane, and he tries to, first he tries to assassinate that guy running for governor,
mm-hmm.
And then he goes and shoots up, some pimps at the end of the movie. but yeah, it's a guy driven to violence, who slowly, goes nuts and just driven to violence. And that's what this seems to be like.
Okay, and that's the thing. So Taxi Driver was, this type of movie like that. But like I said, we live in a different society. It's just like we were making a Dave Chappelle connection. Like Dave Chappelle is doing the same shit Dave Chappelle was doing, but the culture around him has changed. That's why we're getting upset about these jokes now. But 10 years ago, he was saying the same shit. Nobody really cared. We were just laughing. So if we do Taxi Driver in 2019 with all these mass shootings going around, how is the general public going to respond to it? And that's what we need to pay attention to with this Joker movie.
Yeah, I mean, and to suggest that, you know, we're supposed to sympathize with a villain, you know, that's the you know.
And not only we sympathize with the villain, sympathizing. I gotta say it, cis white male.
Oh yeah.
We gotta say it. That's what really drives it home, you know.
But I heard this shit over the Punisher, and when they did the Netflix Punisher, the white man gun fantasy. Yeah. Or the Death Wish movie, that new Death Wish remake with Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
You know, they said the same shit, you know.
Right, but the thing is, in the original Death Wish movie, before they went nuts with the, 4 and 5 and all stuff like that, in the original Death Wish movie, they made those connections in the movie. You know, They kept asking Charles Bronson, like, this killer out here, why is he shooting nothing but black and brown people? You know, what do you want him to do? You want more white people to cause crimes? You know, they said that, laughed it off, and just kept moving, you know.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, I mean, it was written in a time. It was written by white folks back then, but that movie was meant to be a comment on crime and the failed justice system.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what those movies were meant to be. But we look at them now. Yeah, it's just a white guy going around and shooting up, the hood.
Yeah. I mean, like Dirty Harry. Dirty Harry was the same way. Like, we didn't think about it, but Dirty Harry just pretty much shot every black and brown person in those movies. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we thought
you see that all the time.
Yeah.
I was watching, when Rutger Hauer, rest in peace, he passed away recently, and I went back and watched Wanted Dead or Alive, and Gene Simmons, from KISS, he's playing an Arabic terrorist going around blowing up movie theaters and shit, and his whole squad of Arab terrorists. I'm like, holy shit, this is so stereotypical, Arab villain and the minority villain. And
right.
And it's back in the 80s when it's like, America, fuck yeah, let's just blow everybody away,
And we applauded that shit, yeah.
We applauded, right? Like I said, we had Rambo toys, Rambo cartoons. What did Rambo do? He went and shot up Asians.
Right.
He
won the Vietnam War by himself.
Yeah. Or got revenge for losing.
Right. Do we get the win this time? Johnny, that's entirely up to you.
Yeah. So, I mean, right now, the culture has changed, and who knows how this is going to look,
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, like I said, before we talked, I already watched Legion,
mm-hmm.
and that was a character study on how somebody can go from good to turn into a villain. And that was done, of course, it was a TV show, but it was done in such a way where you really examined emotions and trauma and how, you can justify and blur those boundaries and those lines between, good and evil, negative and positive, and justify, your actions. So, which was very interesting. So, I don't know if and I think that's the thing with me. I was like, this feels like it's going to be a chore to watch. And like, if this was not a Joker movie, if this was just a regular old movie, would I care? Would anybody care as much?
Right, but because of the narrative surrounding this movie, I feel like it's a movie that's going to be shoved down our throat, no matter what. Regardless, even if we walk out of the movie like, it's all right. It's still going to be shoved down our throat no matter what.
Yeah.
Because that's how these movies are now. Like I said, if it was not a comic book movie, if it was just a regular movie about some crazy ass white dude killing people, we wouldn't care.
Yeah.
It might get a little buzz, but it wouldn't get Oscar buzz, anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it looks like one of those quirky indie movies, like a Wes Anderson movie.
The dude made Hangover.
Yeah.
I mean, that should tell us what the hell's going on right now.
Well, but this doesn't look like The Hangover. This looks like some shit like, like, what's his name, a Spike Jonze movie or some shit. You know what I mean?
It looked like a guy that watched a bunch of Scorsese movies.
Yeah.
Like, let me take a shot at that. Not Scorsese, a guy trying to mimic Scorsese.
Yeah, it does look like that. But like the narrative, it sounds like the poor schlub movie.
Mm-hmm.
What's that? I don't know if you ever saw that movie with Ryan Gosling about where he was in love with the sex doll.
The fuck?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it was. What was it? Lars and the Real Girl. I think that's what it was called. Lars and the Real Girl. And it's just about a guy, Ryan Gosling. He's socially awkward, and he falls in love with a sex doll. But
okay,
then,
so I'm supposed to believe that Ryan Gosling is socially awkward and can't get a real girl.
Yeah,
that's science fiction in itself.
But he orders a sex doll and falls in love with it. But then everybody in the town starts treating it like it's normal. And they start treating her like she's real. Like everybody in the town. It's a comment on mental illness and how people sort of embrace him and not shun him for his mental illness. And that's basically the premise of the story, the theme that's going on. What if everybody just embraced this guy's, view of the world where he thinks this doll is real, and people, we're gonna take the doll out. A bunch of women show up. She deserves a night out on her own, and they take the doll. So it's.
I'm hearing like, just the way you're describing. I'm hearing more stuff off. I'm hearing Stepford Wives in the way you're describing that. I mean, because you're saying that she's a sex doll, but she could be like a trophy wife where everybody's just treating her like she's just an attachment to him, which some women do feel like that when in a relationship with a man.
Yeah. So and that's what this movie feels like. It's like there's one of those quirky little dramas about one of those lovable losers. You know what I mean? Only in this case, the lovable loser is the Joker. That's
what we are now. That's what we're doing. Okay.
Yeah. So, and that doesn't really interest me. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's just me personally. Who knows? Like, we could be wrong. It could be the best movie ever. And change the face of cinema and how we look at
that's what they're saying.
And blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And maybe we need that right now because of, the MCU is hitting a crossroads and all that shit. This is the time to steal their thunder.
Right, because the MCU feels like when you get fed a certain meal over and over and over again and you only get a taste for that meal, that's what the MCU feels like. It may not be the best meal ever, but you're just so used to that meal, nothing else feels right. Like, it's mama's cooking.
It's pizza.
It's pizza, exactly.
Yeah. This could be that, that good old barbecue brisket.
Right. Like, you don't have to eat pizza all the time.
Yeah.
Have we talked about the movie we hadn't even seen yet long enough?
Sure.
Okay. Because we would talk plenty about it when the movie actually comes out. We can actually, sink our teeth into it. But anyway, moving past that. Now, Eli, this topic hits my soul right here. This topic is going to hit my soul. And I feel like I should put this in the video game section. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to stick it in the video game section just for the fuck of it. Oh, now we're going to talk about something that we never really talk about on this show, and that's anime.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, we're going there. We're going there. Before we go there, Eli, I do have to set this up for a second. Because I want you to know, the reason it's weird that we don't talk about anime because, Eli, you might not know this, but I'm probably the only black nerd on the planet that hates anime.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Black nerds.
Even though you love the biggest anime of all time.
That's the thing. Like, if you're really, really into anime, they don't count that as anime.
Oh, really?
No, because it's almost like you're a comic book fan. No, you claim to be a comic book fan, but all you do is watch MCU movies. It's like I'm a filthy casual, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how it counts. So yes, I hate anime, but I do love one anime, which is Dragon Ball Z. But Dragon Ball Z is so mainstream, it doesn't even count as anime. It's its own thing. So all that other Haka Boo Boo whatever shit, I don't watch that shit. I don't care. It's too weird for me. So I'm a unicorn. Like I said, I'm the only black nerd that don't watch anime other than Dragon Ball, which doesn't count. So yeah. So that being said, now I can actually talk about Dragon Ball because Eli, this shit hurt my heart. Because they released some audio of let me set this up. Before this, there was this guy named Vic. What's his name? Do you know his name? Mick Noga?
I don't know.
Okay, I know you don't know
the story. This is your news. Dude.
This is my shit, so I'm not gonna ask you about what happened with this guy. Okay, some guy named Vic Mignogna, whatever like that. He works for Funimation. Has been getting constant sexual harassment charges against him, like constantly, or like over years, over decades, things like this. And they finally decided to do something, decided to fire this guy and get rid of him because of this, all the sexual harassment he's doing. Then like 2 weeks or maybe a week after that, some audio leaked where all of the Dragon Ball Z voice casting was pretty much doing like crude jokes about, incest, rape, anal penetration, any other fucked up thing you could think about. They was all doing it on there. Not only were they doing it, they were doing it to the Dragon Ball Z soundtrack, which was even making it worse.
Is it like anime full of that shit? Anyways.
The really, really, really weird shit is, and that's the thing about it. But Dragon Ball Z is supposed to be not like that. It's supposed to be like the most westernized anime there is. So usually, but if you really look at it, it does have some weird shit.
It's like
in
The
it
Simpsons. Like hearing The Simpsons say, like, yeah, fucked up jokes.
Yeah, like they really like way past, basically like The Simpsons doing South Park jokes.
Yeah,
it's basically like that. Because the thing is, people are getting pissed about this. But it's just like we just talked about, like the difference between Simpsons and South Park. Well, there's this YouTube show called 4-Star Dragon Ball, Team 4-Star. It's called Team 4-Star, and they do those same jokes on Dragon Ball. They'll take like the video of Dragon Ball, and they'll do the audio where, you know, these YouTuber voice casters do those same fucked up jokes like that. But just the fact that it's the official voice casting doing these fucked up jokes like that, that's what makes it so weird. So you're hearing the audio, but you picture in your mind like, oh damn, Goku, and oh damn, Goku's wife is with his son, and okay, it's really fucking hit. You can imagine in your head, you know. And so honestly, if it was just some like random YouTube dudes doing it, I probably would laugh at the shit. It's kind of funny. I know what you were trying to compare it to James Gunn stuff like that, with the James Gunn stuff like, ugh, what the fuck. This shit was kind of funny when you listen to it, Eli.
Well, that's what it sounded like. It sounded like it's just stupid.
It was dudes.
Jokes.
Yeah, they were just fucking off. That's all it was. It was like in their pastime, let's just do some stuff, but it got leaked. So I don't know what's gonna happen with that. You know, they might say it violates our core values of our anime. You know, stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe nothing will happen, but it's just weird that they fired this one guy for sexual harassment, then they get this stuff leaked out right now. So, but they didn't do anything. Yeah. They just said some fucked up shit and it got leaked.
Yeah, they were joking around.
Yeah,
I remember hearing comedians.
Jokes, that's all. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember hearing comedians. There was comedians who do impressions of cartoon characters, and they say fucked up jokes in cartoon characters.
Exactly. That's the thing. If it
Bugs
wasn't
Bunny, yeah.
Right. If it wasn't them, and it was just some YouTubers saying the same stuff but sounding like them, we'd all be laughing at it. It would not be a thing. We'd get shit around. Check out this funny shit, and that's it. You know. Yeah. But just the fact that they're doing it, that's why they're in hot water. So they don't know what might happen. They don't know if like a Japanese company might snatch them away, because they can't do that, Eli. They can't snatch away them because, like I said, I love Dragon Ball. I associate those voice actors with Dragon Ball. So I can't hear something else. I can't cancel Dragon Ball, Eli. That's one thing I can't do. I draw the line in the sand right there. Like, you can take anything.
And that's why cancel culture is bullshit.
That's why, like Eli, that's why I draw the line. Look, you can take one of my fingers, you know, John Wick me, but I cannot give away Dragon Ball. The reason I put this in the video game section is because I started picking up that Dragon Ball video game, the DBZ Fighters, whatever, that thing. Okay, yeah. Start playing it. I'm addicted to it now. I'm loving this game right now. And on top of that, my Twitch stream started to take off from that. That's why I was telling you earlier about this dude been following me. If he's listening, shout out to that guy. But yeah, he's been following my Twitch stream just to seeing what I've been playing, because people are following the Dragon Ball Z game. So if I'm playing, I'm starting to get actual followers now. So I can't cancel Dragon Ball because shit, I grew up with this shit. I love this shit too much. So I'm hoping this shit will blow off, because if I can't listen to that Japanese voice actor, Eli. That shit, they sound like whiny girls, man. That shit hurts my head too much, man. I can't do that. I need the.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I need the American shit. I need that. Yes, they did some fucked up shit, but give them a slap on the wrist. Do them like Kevin Hart, you know. Just going about the business. So, all I gotta say about that.
Just chill the fuck out, everybody. That's all.
Everybody just lay low. Probably about 2 weeks, we'll forget about this, and we can listen to Dragon Ball again. Because the last thing I want to do is playing my Dragon Ball Z game. Somebody say, "Oh, you know you're not allowed to play that." I'm like, fuck you. Play what I want to play. And so, you want to talk about that game?
What game?
Control.
Oh yeah. I just thought it looked cool. I sent it to you to see if you knew anything about it.
I knew that it existed.
Yeah, I just saw that looks cool.
And that's really the long and short of it. So that's all I got. So I guess we move past that and we can move on to the next part.
Okay.
So yeah, like I said, This is the Comic Book Bullies, where we talk about comic books sometimes, but now we're going to actually get into it now, and there's a bunch of books that came out. So we're going to get into it, and I'm trying to see where am I going to start first, Eli? Should I start with X-Men? Let's start with X-Men.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. Yeah, this is House of X? House of X #3. Eli, I know you jumped off this train. You're not looking back, but I'm going to go ahead and go forward with this as best I can. So,
I think I already read it. It was called Legion.
it's some weird shit going on with it. There's some weird shit in this one too. But okay, so basically what's going on with it, House of X. Last time we left off, remember Moira McTaggart was in a 9th timeline. She was in a different timeline. Wolverine killed her, so she reincarnated into a new timeline. Hopefully I haven't lost you yet. So we're in a new timeline, and they realize exactly when and where Nimrod was created. Because the thing is, the Sentinels get created. They can be Sentinels all day, living day long. They're not worried about Sentinels. It's Nimrod they're worried about. It's when Nimrod gets created, that's when he kills all the mutants. So they got to make sure he doesn't get created. So they have intel that there's a base with this new group called Orchis that are building the Mother Mole. So not the Master Mole, but the Mother Mole, because the Master Mole makes Sentinels, but the Mother Mole make Master Moles. So they got to destroy.
That's the thing that's behind the sun or whatever?
That's the thing behind the sun, the Mother Mole. They just call it Mother for short, So because they realize in the intel that they got from Moria in the other life, it's the Mother Mole that makes Nimrods. And that's what they got to stop. They got to blow that shit before they get there. So basically, Professor X and Magneto hands them the mission. They hand Cyclops the mission. Cyclops, get you a team together. You got to go to the sun. You got to destroy the Mother Mole, because if you don't do it, they're going to create Nimrods, wipe us all out. That happens every single time. So you got to go in there and do it. And Cyclops and Professor X is like reading Cyclops' mind, reading his feelings, stuff like that. He was like, Cyclops, are you nervous? You're like, yeah, I'm nervous. You're like, don't be nervous. You're not going to die. I promise you won't die. Because as long as we remember you, you'll never die. I'm like, what the fuck? So he's basically sending the X-Men off to a suicide mission. Cyclops put his team together trying to think.
Weren't they doing that last week? Last weekend.
That was a suicide mission also, which they all died in. Right. So there's another suicide mission. So I'm trying to think. I can't remember everybody's team. So Cyclops got a team. He said everybody that's on the team, they know what the mission is. They know what they're going to do, and they know the risk of what they're about to do. So you got Wolverine, you got Jean Grey, you got Nightcrawler, you got some other mutants. The other ones that you don't know. Like the red shirts in Star Trek? Those guys.
Yeah.
So they basically say, okay, we're gonna go to the sun. We're gonna fight we gotta blow that base up at all costs, no matter what happens. And we can't bring our Krakoa seed with us to teleport, because they get their hands on that, they're gonna find out everything about the mutants. So this is basically Cyclops telling them this is a one-way trip. That's what it is. They're like, hey, we ready. Whatever we got to do, we got to say, if this we got to do to save mutants, we're gonna do it. So they go, boom, they fly off. The side B story. They're at this Supermax prison where they're about to convict Sabretooth. For Sabretooth for taking the stuff from Damage Control. And Sabretooth was like, the judge asked him, how do you plead? Oh, I plead guilty. Okay, yeah, I did it. But guess what? You're not sending me to jail. And then while he's talking all this shit to the judge like that, Emma Frost walks through the room. Emma Frost walks in the room, and she tells the judge, Judge, give me Sabretooth. You're not going to arrest him. You're not going to do anything to him. You might as well give him to me right now. And he's like, why are you going to do that? Because he is a citizen of Krakoa. And all Krakoans on United States soil have diplomatic immunity. So you can't do anything to him. You can't prosecute him. So just give him over to me right now. Matter of fact, we already got the paperwork. That's the whole point of us becoming a sovereign state to begin with. They're like, oh, shit. So one of the security guards like that point a gun at Emma Frost, like, you're not taking Sabretooth. She's like, look, just put the gun down, because you and I both know that gun ain't gonna do shit to me. Matter of fact, I should mind control you right now and put the gun where your last boyfriend was, but I'm not gonna do that, because I realize my political power is more powerful than my mutant power. So you put the gun down, and I'm gonna pretend, we both gonna pretend like for a second that you had a chance to kill me. And she's like, okay, and walk out with Sabretooth, and that's it. So, back to side A story. X-Men are getting ready to go to the sun. They're about 25 miles out. Orchis sees the Shi'ar X-Jet. They're like, oh shit, the X-Jet's coming. That's the X-Men. They're coming. So, they're thinking the X-Men are coming through the hangar door. Now, they were going to call the Sentinel that are in on Mercury, but Mercury's like on the other side of the sun. It's gonna take them a while for to get there. So they're like, we're gonna send everybody to the hangar base, and we're gonna shoot the X-Men if they come through the hangar base, so they won't get there. And the Omega Sentinel on the base is like, y'all fucking up already. These are the X-Men. That's not how you're gonna kill the X-Men, because the X-Men don't go through the hangar base. They're on top of the spaceship, and they're carving a way into it so they can sneak in through the roof. So they send a guy in there, and he like, he tells his wife, "Tell I love her," or some shit like that. Sets grenade, blows himself up, and the X-Jet. The end.
The end.
Yeah, that's what happened. That's how the last page is. The X-Jet blows up. So we don't know if the X-Men are dead, not dead, whatever. So overall, I know I went all around the world to tell the story, but it's actually one of the more straightforward stories that they're telling now. Even the last story was more straightforward than what Hickman's been telling, so it's not all that timey-wimey bullshit. Pretty straightforward. Overall, I'm getting into it, the more I'm starting to realize what is going on. 4.5 out of 5. Hickman came with another one. So, yeah, I hate the bullshit ending because I don't know what's going to happen next, but yeah, that's what I got.
Well, you'll find out next week.
Right. On the X-Minute or whatever the fuck Gomer calls that shit.
Yeah. It's funny because, like, the reason why I started picking up those books was because of Legion.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be in it or not. I don't know.
But I remember in one of the other books, like a couple weeks ago, they had the whole list of Omega level mutants. And Legion was on there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But this last season on Legion, they're dealing with time travel and reincarnations. And
damn.
Shit. Okay. One of the characters is like living her life over and over again.
Oh shit.
Which totally reminded me of the whole Moria. What's her face?
Okay, because that's her power to reincarnate. And, yeah.
That's what it was. That's what Powers of X was reminding.
That's the connection. That's why you kept saying Legion. I didn't know what the hell you were talking about.
Yeah, and that's what. So I mean, and like I said, I'm not the biggest X-Men fan, but I watched Legion, and I loved it, and so that got me interested. Maybe Legion made me say, oh, maybe I should give the X-Men a chance again. So when this whole House of X shit came out, I'm like, okay, they're rebooting the X-Men again. Let me give them a whirl, you know. So yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think I'll just wait till the books start, I guess.
We'll just follow the trade when it's all done. Yeah.
Yeah, because it just seems like that this is just all set up, you know. Because there's shit
it's
that
still setting stuff up. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's shit that I'm interested in, but then he jumps to something else. Like, right, okay, I want to see that suicide mission. I want to see them go attack the mother lode or the mother mold or whatever the fuck. Or I want to see, you know, what was that one, the magic's like
Rasputin.
Yeah,
she's dead now.
Yeah, I want to see that. Like, that sounds like a cool character. Let me check her out. But then we jump into basically right when I get into something, they jump to another timeline or jump to another life or whatever.
Right, with the boy girl with the pet robot, and you're like, what? Yeah, and Galactus is a fucking Phalanx robot now, and like he's a hive.
Yeah, and then just that shit with 1,000 years of the future. I'm like, okay.
Maybe eventually they'll tie that in some kind of way, but I don't know. Who knows?
All right. Well, should I do this Absolute Carnage?
Go for it. Yeah.
I got a couple. I'll just do it all one big because it's basically the whole. They all relate to each other. I got Absolute Carnage #2, and also Venom #17, which is a tie-in, and also Miles Morales. I'm not sure what number it is, but the Miles Morales tie-in.
Well, I think it's #1 because I think it's his own book, like Absolute Carnage.
Miles Morales, yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, what's been going on? You have Carnage going around searching for everybody who's ever been infected by a symbiote, and they have traces of them. Traces of their DNA has been infected with the symbiote. They call it codexes. So Carnage is going around trying to, take these codexes back to reform them to summon Null, the symbiote god.
Okay.
And last issue, Spider-Man and Venom, Eddie Brock, they went to Ravencroft to get Norman Osborn because he had he has a symbiote in him too, to get him, but they were intercepted by Carnage, who infected the whole fucking prison, and they were being attacked. So this is basically where we leave off. It's just a big chase. Spider-Man and Venom fly off, and being chased by Carnage and all the infected symbiotes. And it's just kind of a fight. They fight. It spills out into the street. They run into Miles Morales, who was fighting with Scorpion, but then Carnage sort of attacks them and infects. He breaks Scorpion's back and then infects Miles Morales. Mm-hmm. So that was Absolute Carnage number 2. Very short. I mean, a little. It's not so much lackluster. It's just like the last number 1 was like so big and thick,
right?
Had that girth.
And this just feel like guest stars kind of popping in and out. Like Peter Parker, like, hey, okay, I'm by. And then Miles Morales,
it was just so epic. Yeah, it was so epic and long. And this one's like, oh, that's it. That's it. Okay.
I think because this new one, I feel like they want you to read those tie-ins to feel the epicness.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, it's just action. The art is cool. It's fine. It's just It's just the extension of the battle that ended in the last issue.
Right.
So not much really happened. It's just a chase, and then Miles Morales gets infected. So I guess the Miles Morales book, it just basically shows how Miles ran into what's his face, the Scorpion, who was robbing an armored truck, mm-hmm. and they fight and battle each other until they happen upon Carnage and Venom and Spider-Man and all the symbiotes in the street, and you see basically Miles Morales being infected with the symbiote. Carnage infects him. So, it's just filler. It's that's all it is. It's just filler. That's a 3 out of 5. And then, of course, Venom, number 17, this actually shows what's going on with Dylan. Mm-hmm. For those who don't know, Dylan is Eddie Brock's son. But he doesn't know it, or Dylan doesn't know Eddie Brock is his dad. He thinks Eddie Brock is his brother. So he doesn't know he's his son. But it shows him and Norman Osborn's grandkid over at the Maker. And the Maker has made this machine that will take out the codexes from their hosts without killing them. So that's basically them, hanging out with the Maker, and then they get attacked by all these other symbiotes from all the other tie-ins. So it's just a big attack scene. The Maker is fighting off the symbiotes. The kids run into like a room and basically load up a bunch of guns, and they're like, okay, we got to fend these off. But then the Sleeper shows up, and that's about it. So this was like a little show of what was going on, besides what was going on in the streets and Venom fighting Carnage and all that shit. So this was cool. I'll give this a 4 out of 5. But other than that, this is still a lot of fun. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The art is still cool. It's just a little lackluster because the first one was so big,
right?
And just
because they didn't have to worry about tie-ins and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, but the tie-ins, like I didn't need to see nothing in the Miles Morales book really, was necessary. Right. That we didn't already see.
And I agree with you. Like you didn't need the story. You didn't need the tie-ins to understand the story. But I felt like it fucked up the pacing of it because you just got shit just popping out of nowhere where you just get, because you got to have a narrative. You got to have a story and a pacing to it. And when you rely on these other tie-ins, you just concentrating on just this main story. Shit just popping out of nowhere. You just your brain got to catch up with like, oh, this happened. Okay. Yeah. Instead of like a cohesive story like it was with the first one.
Yeah. I mean, if you read the Miles Morales by itself, it's not bad. Mm-hmm. He's fighting Scorpion, and then he gets turned into a symbiote at the end. It's not bad, but as it relates to the the Absolute Carnage story arc, it's unnecessary. We see what happens to Miles mm-hmm. in Absolute Carnage. However, Venom shows what else is going on. You see Dylan and the Maker and all that shit. That showed another side of the story, mm-hmm. which I thought was pretty cool. So that's our Absolute Carnage minute.
But we'll stick with the story. I'm pretty sure there was just a bump in the road. So
yeah.
All right. Sticking with Marvel, Eli, this is gonna be a rough one right here. Ooh, okay.
All right.
We are doing Marvel Comics 1000. I feel like this book should have been like bigger received than what it was. Like it should have been like a thing on social media. But the real one, people just like, it's all right. You know.
Yeah.
Let me give some background about what Marvel Comics 1000 is. For those that don't know, yesterday was Marvel's 80th birthday. Yesterday, yeah. So, well, 2 days from now, but anyway, it was on August 31st, whenever that was. The first book they released was Marvel Comics #1. You know, it's their 80th birthday, so they want to jump on the train like DC was doing. You know, with Action Comics 1000 on Superman's 80th birthday, Detective Comics 1000 on Batman's birthday. So, but instead of with those books where they actually had 1,000 issues and they kept it going, Marvel just like fuck it, 1,000. Out of nowhere. What was that on the Nutty Professor? 1001, 1002, 1000, or whatever the fuck. Just jump to the end. You know, when you see a hot girl, you just add numbers to the beginning of it when you're doing push-ups. So that's what they're doing now. So we just have Marvel Comics 1000. It's here, and what this book is, it's a weird book. It's an ambitious book, but it's a weird book. So here's the premise of the book. It's 80 pages, 80 full fucking pages. And the book is worth $10 also. But what they do, every single page, you remember how like Detective Comics and Action Comics, like they had these short stories in it?
Yeah, they're all one-page stories.
They're all one-page stories. So Marvel Comics 1000, every single page is its own story. So you can just read one page and that's it. So honestly, I think that's a brilliant idea, and that's why I say it's ambitious. But what you're gonna start seeing is that when people start catching on to what this book is gonna do, you're gonna start seeing like pages. You're gonna start seeing scans of just like one page. You know, like the Captain America story or the Deadpool story or the bunch of Spider-Man stories. You're gonna see that. Like I'm already seeing it now, like the She-Hulk story, and people are gonna take those stories and be like, "Oh, where that came from?" You know, Storm got a story on that that's pretty awesome that I know for a fact is gonna take off. You know, so you got a bunch of one-shot stories. But here's the thing. So you think it sounds like a mess, and sometimes it is, but Al Ewing does the heavy lifting in here. So between all these one-page narrative stories and these throwaway filler stories, stuff like that, Al Ewing actually has a narrative in those stories. They're still one-shots, but if you read all of Al Ewing's one-shot stories, they form a completely entire story.
I did notice he had a bunch of them.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of them. So he didn't have all of them, not even close to half of them. Probably about 20 pages or something like that. I may be lowballed. I didn't count anything like that. So overall, he probably has like an issue within this stuff like here. So I'm going to just tell you Al Ewing's story, like his narrative that was going on through this thing. So basically, his story starts off at the very beginning, like 80 years ago. And it starts off with these guys, they call themselves the 3X's. They actually call themselves the X-Men, but they call themselves the 3X's. And they're looking for this device. They're looking for this mask called the Eternity Mask. And what the Eternity Mask does is that anybody who wears it, it makes them the equal skill level fighting ability of the opponent they're fighting. So if that guy's like a master marksman, if you've never shot a gun before, boom, you become master marksman. You don't know how to fight, you know how to fight. Sword play, boom, all that. So you become the equal of the person you're going up against. So whoever wears that mask becomes equal opportunity. I'll even go back. It actually goes back further than 80 years. It actually goes back to King Arthur time. Remember I told you about that guy Black Knight?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so Black Knight was one of King Arthur's guys or whatever like that. So he has to fight another guy that's wearing that mask. And even though this guy has never fought before, when he put that mask on, he's a match for the Black Knight. The Black Knight is the greatest swordsman in Marvel history. He can match him, tit for tat. You can't beat him. So eventually, Camelot falls. We all know Camelot falls, and they're saying that that mask has something to do with it. Though the mask is in Europe because that's where colonial time and King Arthur was. When they decided to colonize America, those same people that created that mask, those magicians, they brought the mask to America. And they're saying the Americans used the mask to beat, the British, in the Revolutionary War. Because they're saying basically there's no way Americans should have beat the British in the war, but using that mask made them even when they could do that. So basically this mask, people just been wearing this mask all throughout Marvel's history. It's been a bunch of dudes called the Black Rider, and the Masked Rider and Blind Justice and all kind of shit. It's just been a bunch of mass hooligans just wearing this mask like that, and they're basically saying this man, whoever wears this mask, automatically becomes a superhero because anybody who wears a mask, anybody can get powers, and they use that to attack people bigger than them and stuff like that. So, that's pretty much what the story. The whole story is about this mask. Where's the mask from? And at the end of the story, Eternity shows up. Eternity, like the avatar of the universe, of the Marvel universe. He shows up and says he created the mask. He created the mask and gave it to these Europeans, stuff like that, because since he feels like everybody is equal, because everybody is a part of him anyway, so everybody is on an equal playing field, and this mask puts everybody on an equal playing field. So whoever wears this mask gets my power, the power of eternity, you know. And at the end of the story, this other guy gets a mask, and he calls himself something. I don't know. I forgot. But anyway, he gets powers. So shit.
Dude, $10. Come on, man.
I forgot. It's 80 fucking pages, but I can't remember every fucking thing that happened. but
do I have to read this now? I gotta find out what he was called.
Okay, let me see. The mask something. That's all
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I don't have time to look that shit up. But that's Al Ewing's narrative right there, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be a continuous thing in Marvel Universe. They're going to really make this a thing, whoever this mask dude is in this Eternity mask. So, but it's not just that. Like I said, you got these little stories that are popping up also. Eli, every fucking body is on this book. Everybody.
Stop.
Like Eric Larson is on this book. Eric Larson hasn't drawn a Marvel page since like 1992. You know, once he left for Image, he like, fuck Marvel. I'm never gonna make the Marvel. He came back for this. They got a Red Wolf story in here.
I know, written by what's his face?
Your boy.
Taboo, whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe not my boy.
Yeah, the guy from Black Eyed Peas. So he writes a story. That story sucked.
Yeah, I saw it. I like flipped through it and I saw it and I'm like, nope. I read like the first sentence and I'm like, oh.
I was like, okay, this guy's terrible. Please do not give him a Red Wolf book.
I was like something about history.
I feel like Marvel is grooming him to give him a book. I feel like if he asks for a book, they'll give him a book.
I was just like, man, really? That's it? Something like history is written by the victor. I'm like, oh, right away. Fucking losers. We're losers. Indians, a bunch of fucking losers. I'm like, really, dude? Right in the first sentence? Like, come on, man. I'm sick of this shit. Why? I'm sick of the pity party. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And you know they were going right. That's exactly where we're going.
Yeah, I don't need to be pitied. We're pissed off. We're salves. Fuck that cologne, that French cologne.
Like, as soon as I read this shit, I know Eli is gonna rip this shit apart.
That's pretty much why I didn't buy it.
It's 80 pages, but one page, you were like, fuck this whole book.
That's pretty much me putting it back on the shelf. Like, man, I really want to support the native artists, but come on, man. Taboo, he just found out he was native last week.
He's like Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah, like, well, yeah, you know. These pretendians and shit.
Right. I want to write a Marvel book.
Yeah.
Oh man. But okay, that page aside, skip that page. It's a lot of good stuff in here, Eli. The Deadpool page. The Deadpool page is fucking genius. I can't remember who wrote it. Like I said, there's so many artists on there, but Batman shows up in there.
Really?
Yes, Batman is in there. Because Deadpool is stealing his bat boat, his bat sub, something like that, and you can see Batman in the background, like, hey, but it happens like so quick and like in a vague, like you know it's Batman, but they did it just enough where they don't get sued. You know, they even make a mention of the Marvel swimsuit calendar and stuff like that. You know, damn, it's so much stuff. Who else is in this book? Neil Gaiman writes a page with Miracle Man. Oh, that's what I meant to tell you. Your boy is in this book.
My boy.
2 of your boys are in this book.
Conan.
His story was awesome. And
the Punisher. Those are my boys.
The Punisher is your boy. No, your other boy. Darth fucking Vader.
Oh, really? Okay.
Darth Vader's in this book. And that page was fucking awesome also. Because one of the rebels runs one of the ships directly into him, and they think they killed Darth Vader. They're like, oh, she committed suicide, but don't worry, we will say her name to the heavens, and we will tell them that we took out Emperor Palpatine's #1 attack dog, stuff like that. And then all you hear is the lightsabers. They're like, oh no, and Vader's like, oh yes, and then the book ends. So I thought the book was in there. Who else was in there? George Perez, but George Perez retired, but they still got a page with him in there. I'm forgetting somebody. I'm gonna slap myself when I forget it. But everybody's in the book. Everybody does it. But Al Ewing is doing most of the heavy lifting, and he's the one that makes the cohesive narrative. Overall, it's like, okay, this is what this book feels like. They gave you a party bag. You got a party bag. You don't know what's in it. Everything is not gold. Everything not good, but there's some good stuff in there. There's some great stuff in there. It's some stuff you really take away from it. You be like, this is fucking awesome. Like that storm panel I was telling you about. That storm panel, I'm telling you, is going to take off when people see about it. But everything is not good. They got a speedball story, and they're like, what the fuck? Why do I want speedball in here? You know? And there's some other throwaway stories like that also, like some dude named Night Raven. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about him. I don't even know who the fuck that is, you know? Oh, there's no Moon Knight on here. Like, it's some people that are missing. Like, what the fuck are people? There's no Thanos story in here. They got one Thanos story where he's getting his ass whooped by Galactus, and that's it.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, but it's like a throwaway story. Just like he's not in it. You think Thanos should have a plan to himself? He should not be getting the shit beat out of him by Galactus. I mean, he could, but that shouldn't be his only story. Where Spider-Man's got like about 4 or 5 stories in here. You know, I understand he's Spider-Man, but still. So overall, I'm gonna give the book a 4.5 out of 5. It is an ambitious book. I get what they were trying to do, but I think it was. I don't think they stuck the landing as good as they should have. Well, and with this, I don't know if you could. They stuck it about as good as you could possibly get. You know, every story ain't good. Red Wolf, you know, but there's some good shit in there. It is some. Really good
it was. I mean, was it really? Because it just looked like a blanket.
Yeah, like I said, and that's the thing. Like, you gotta know.
It looked like a Pendleton blanket that we hang on our walls. I was like, is
that's
this
exactly
story?
what it looked like. I'm like, what?
Like, because I just remember reading, like, glancing at the art. I mean, I'll give it up to Jeffrey Verhage. He was a great artist, and he's breaking new grounds. He's representing natives in a great way and getting jobs, getting work.
Okay, so Marvel does have native artists in the bullpen.
Well, they only hired Verhage for the covers of Red Wolf. He's the token native.
Gotcha.
I mean, you know, but he does shit for IDW. He does shit for Valiant. You know, he was doing like what's those X-Men from Valiant called?
I don't know.
I forget.
Harbinger
the Valiant.
Yeah,
Harbingers. Those motherfuckers. Yeah. Shout out to Get Valiant, yo.
Shout out to Get Valiant. Let them tell that they the greatest. They're better than the X-Men.
Yeah. But he gets work. You know, he's got like work in the Smithsonian. He gets work out there. And I just saw the art and I was like, oh cool. But then I just started reading it and I was just like, oh geez, really? This ain't. I mean, I don't know. It sounded just like a documentary narration with flutes. I could just hear the flutes playing, and on some shitty PBS special about
with the one tear going down the eye.
Yeah, like look how poor this reservation is. Ooh, ooh, ooh. The flute music playing. Like, oh, Christ. Really? It's a comic book. You couldn't have Red Wolf punching somebody,
like doing some cool shit, right?
Like
teaming up with Captain America or Hawkeye, or whatever the fuck.
I don't give a shit. Give him a bow and arrow. Could he shoot something? Like, really? It's just all this crap. This just looks like some shit you'd hang on the wall.
Right.
So I just like, man. Yeah, I ain't spending $10 on this shit.
Red Wolf fucked it up for everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody else that wrote a story. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has a story in here.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, he wrote
about Bruce Lee.
Not with Bruce Lee. Not with Shang-Chi. You would think Shang-Chi shows up nowhere in this thing.
Oh no shit.
Nowhere in here.
And with the native must have took the Asians.
Right. You get one page.
Indians, Asians, same thing.
Twofer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but that's all I got. I'll let you get the next one.
Oh really? What am I doing?
Yeah, I forgot. What do you want to do?
What do I got? I just did like 3 in a row. Is it my turn? What book? Detective? Should I do Detective?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, I got Detective 1010. This just continues what happened last time, where Bruce Wayne got into a plane crash because of Deadshot, and it's just they're on some desert island, and Bruce Wayne finds some survivors from World War II. It's like Enemy Mine or like Kong Skull Island. There's a Japanese pilot, an American pilot who shot each other down and have been stranded on this island ever since and shit. And he kind of teams up with them, and Deadshot is holding the survivors of the plane crash hostage, and he goes to try, Bruce Wayne goes to try and save them, and he gets into a little scuffle with Deadshot, and that's about it. Yeah, and then of course, the little epilogue where it shows Mr. Freeze, being all creepy with his frozen wife.
Okay.
That's a 3 out of 5. It's fine. It's whatever.
Cool. The next book. Okay.
Short and sweet though. I must say it's short. They didn't drag nothing out.
Yeah. No more 80-page books. That shit drains us. Okay. A book I got. I guess I'm gonna do Batman/Superman #1.
Yeah. Good.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and do that one. Basically, I'm not gonna start how the book starts off, but just get to the meat of it. Batman is on the roof with Commissioner Gordon. And Batman is telling Commissioner Gordon, or he thinks he's telling Commissioner Gordon about all the stuff that the Batman Who Laughs has been doing. And Gordon is like, why are you saying those stuff? I already knew. I was there when he did the shit. Well, I'm not talking to you. And then it turns around, it's Superman right behind him holding Killer Croc. Superman was like, oh yeah, Batman, I heard you while I was in Metropolis. Everything you were saying is cool. Let me go drop off Killer Croc at Arkham Asylum. He's back. Okay, then what were you saying? You're like, so he goes and tell him, he was like, the Batman Who Laughs has kidnapped this boy. I forgot what the boy's name is. But he said Batman Who Laughs wasn't alone. He was also taken by somebody that looks like Superman, but the Superman was laughing. He was like, and that's why he called him over here, because just in case if he needs some backup. We're like, okay, interesting. So Commissioner Gordon was like, well, when I was taken hostage by the Batman Who Laughs, even though I was blindfolded, I knew the area where he had me at. And it was at blah, 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 this area, stuff like that. And they get the mission. So Batman, Superman ends off out to where Commissioner Gordon was saying. Where, according to where Commissioner Gordon said they were at Crime Alley. So Superman's like, are you sure you want me to do this? And like, Batman, do it. So Superman punches a hole to the bottom of Crime Alley. They go down to the bottom and they see the Batman Who Laughs Batcave. They see that. So they're looking around in the Batcave. They see all the stuff like that. And Superman and Batman's like, okay, this is way too easy. He's got to have some kind of plan waiting for this. And while they're doing it, they get attacked by one of the crows, like one of the evil robbers and shit like that. They get attacked by the crows. And Superman like, what the fuck is that? He sees them and he talks to him. He was like, and they think it's the little boy that, the Batman Who Laughs kidnapped. They're like, it must be him. And they must have jokerized him or some shit like that. He's like, oh no, I'm not him. My name is Billy Batson. They're like, oh shit. And then next thing you hear, Shazam! Turns into Shazam, knocks them both out. He grabs Superman by the fucking throat, pulls out an nth metal bat orang, which can kill Superman because nth metal can slice him like butter.
He's got the Superman logo on it too.
And I thought it had a Batman, whatever. Yeah, it had a Superman logo because he built it specifically to kill Superman. So it's like his sign or something like that. And Shazam, the Shazam Who Laughs, asks Superman, let's find out if I can really kick your ass. And that's how the book ends. So
what you think is gonna, Batman's gonna, next issue, first panel, Batman's gonna come, like, got fucking his boomerang or some shit.
Because he's already got a plan how to take down Shazam, who's basically Superman and don't have a weakness. Okay. Because it's Batman, why not? Now, some people saying it's controversial because we've always had Superman and Batman team up, but it's always been Superman and Batman. This is the first time it's Batman and Superman. They swapped it. So some people some people kind of upset about that. But hey, what can you do? Who sells more books? Who puts more butts in the seats? Henry Cavill had his chance. And so overall, I like this book. The artist is in this book. I always keep up with his stuff. He's a great artist. It was what's his name, Joshua Williamson. He really, understands he makes Batman and Superman feel like two different characters. Batman is psychologically profiling Superman the whole time because he's trying to see, if he's a Superman Who Laughs, and you see the difference between these guys. So I'm liking the story. It was a cool twist at the end because the book at the beginning had you thinking that he was gonna pull a Superman from his universe when he killed the Justice League, but nah, he flipped it on you and like, okay, no, it's Shazam. So I'm curious. The first book sold me. I want to see where the second book goes. That's all I was asking for. 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I'll give it a 4 out of 5. It was a little wordy, I thought, and I want to see the Batman Who Laughs do some shit.
You know what? That's what I'm getting sick of. I'm getting sick of that character.
Yeah, and it's just like he's just always in the background, and you don't see enough of him. That's why I wasn't into that series that much, because you never get to see him. It's all about what he has done or what he's gonna do, and we never see him do anything.
But here's the problem: he's showing up so much that he's starting to get his ass kicked too much, and it's taking him down as a villain. Like in Batman Dark Knight Metal, he got his ass kicked. He showed up in that Justice League book, didn't do shit. He showed up in that Batman Who Laughs, got his ass kicked. Now he's in again. He's getting overexposed. That's my opinion.
Yeah, without even doing anything.
I mean, but when he does do shit, he gets his ass kicked.
We need to see him when he's not getting his ass kicked. We need to see him kicking ass, because he's basically taken over all these universes.
Right. Like he tells us he has, But I'm just thinking like the he's just overexposed. Like he doesn't need to be in every damn book. Like let him take a break. Shit.
Yeah, and maybe I'm just searching for that. And that's the only reason why I picked up this book, was like, okay, let's see how this goes.
Right.
But I mean, I did enjoy it for the most part. It did it was a lot of talking, I felt, but that twist at the end was pretty cool.
Yeah, because I didn't see it coming. I'm thinking of Superman, but pretty cool twist. So, yeah.
Okay, well, let's see. Should I talk about this? I really want to, but I don't know if I'm allowed to, because it's an advanced copy. I won't spoil. How about that?
If you do it, Gomer get in trouble. We won't catch any blowback from it. So go for it.
Well, he sent it to me. I did request it. So it's from Boom Studios. It's an indie book called Something is Killing the Children, written by James Tynion IV, who's doing
Justice League right now.
Yeah. So his Detective Comics run was dope. Art by Werthier Dera and Miguel Muerto. So this is just a straight up horror comic about some monsters killing kids in some small town, and some monster slayer shows up to fight this monster. That's the gist of it, and that's all I'll say.
Okay.
It was cool. It was really cool. I dug it a lot. Art is really cool. It's really creepy. It's got Stephen King's It, Stranger Things kind of vibe to it. And very gory, very cool. Just in time to kick off Halloween season.
Yep, right around the corner. We blink, it'll be here.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure when this book is coming out, but Gomer sent me the advance copy, and I really dug on it. So. Oh,
and this month is going to have Friday the 13th.
Oh, is it? Sweet.
Yep.
I know what I'm doing that weekend, so.
Well, hopefully not serial killing, so.
Yeah, so Something is Killing the Children. Check it out from Boom Studios. Advanced review. That's all I'll say. Don't want to spoil it.
Cool. Honestly, if there's another book I have, I forgot about it. I'm not going to do anything else, so I'm booked out.
Yeah, I'm done, yeah.
Okay. So we got another episode in the can. If you like this episode, definitely like, share, and subscribe. Listen to our other podcasts. We have, of course, Comic Cast. We're going to do these. They have other books also. Going to see what they have to say. Geek Sav. We have a sister podcast, Geek Sav. Listen to them. Get Valiant. We got Hoodoo TV. Talking Balls right around the corner. I'm pretty sure they probably recorded something, or they're going to record something. I think I said Hoodoo TV already. Instruments Destruction. Transformer Talk. I know you want to hear about it, so go listen to them. And yeah,
Did you listen to Comic Cast today?
No. Honestly, I know they're gonna hate me for it. I try not to listen to them before I record because I don't want whatever they got to say to kind of interfere with it. But I definitely listen to them after I record.
Okay.
So
I died a little inside hearing them talk about Star Wars.
Oh, honestly, Eli, I left that off for a reason. I know you know idea. First off, okay, if anybody want to hear about Star Wars, go listen to Geek Sav. They break it down. I did listen to your podcast about it, so I was like, you got it covered.
Well, I'm just saying, like, they were like, what's the movie where Luke goes down into the cave and fights Darth Vader? I was like, seriously,
no.
you
Come
don't know
on,
who
man.
what Empire Strikes Back? I was like, oh my god, yeah, my soul was wounded.
You got at
after
least
hearing
know
that
that stuff.
conversation.
Like you keep. That's like holy
Which one is
text.
that? Which one is that? What's the one where Luke does like, oh my god?
That's like holy text. No, I mean, whatever you say about Star Wars, the trilogy, that's holy text. You have to know every single thing from that. Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
missed that.
Well,
I mean, you can't even mess up a line.
I didn't watch the trailer, but this is what I think. Like, oh,
Like this, you can't say, Luke, I am your father. No, it's no, I am your father. You got to say, that's how meticulous we are with this shit. So, yeah, you don't play around with Star Wars. There's some things you can joke about. You can't joke about that.
Yeah.
So yeah. Other than that, this is Leroy.
this is Eli.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Same bully time, same bully channel. Okay, cool.